So thank you guys for coming to our session. Today we're going to be talking about how to create, craft, and scale high-ticket offers. And so the goal of this workshop today is very specific. It's simply to go through and look at what you're selling, look at how we can create more scalability, more profitability. And to start off, I'm just going to tell a little story about myself. So my name's Jackson. I got my start in social media back during the pandemic. And at my peak, I was getting over 10 million views a month. And although I was kind of figured out how these algorithms work and I was able to generate a lot of attention, the main problem I had is I could never figure out how to get past $2,500 a month. And I ran this business for over 2 years, working every hour of the day, working as hard as I could, and I got plenty of leads, but for whatever reason, I could never figure out how to make more money. And what really changed for me was when I went from charging $50 an hour for consulting and $150 for my marketing packages, and I joined a program that told me to start charging $2,500. And so I changed my price from $50 to $2,500, provided more value, made it a 12-week program instead of a 1-hour offer. And in my first month, I booked 12 sales calls and I sold 3 people and I made $7,500, which is 3 times more than I'd ever made. And then I upped my price again to $5,000. And the next month I booked 32 calls and I closed 6 people at $5,000 and did more in a single month than I had done like pretty much the whole last 2 years, right? And so the only thing that changed was just what I was selling. And once I figured out what I was selling, I could get a little more specific about who I was selling that to. And I think what happens is, as entrepreneurs, we go through this cycle where we have almost like imposter syndrome, right? Like we think like, oh, I couldn't charge that, right? But I promise you right now, there's someone that's half as good as you that's charging twice as much as you. And they're making way more money. And the truth is, when we charge more, it also gives us more money to make sure we have a better product, right? So you actually have a responsibility to charge more, because if you don't have the proper resources to execute, then you're going to put yourself in a position where you really can't help the people that are hiring you, right? So, today we're going to be diving in a little about how do we actually do that. And so that's why I brought out my friend Anthony here, because he's an absolute expert. He's helped over 300 plus coaches and consultants build successful businesses. He runs a 7-figure agency himself. He's mastered the art of Facebook ads and helped hundreds of businesses craft their offer. So without further ado, let's make some noise for my man Anthony. Let's go!
Awesome. Cool, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. As Jackson said, we're going to talk about high ticket offers and what exactly that is, and if you even have the possibility or capability of building one. So just real quick, I we have a smaller room here, right? Do you guys here in the crowd, does anybody have like a skill set or an expertise that they offer already? Yeah. Okay. I'm curious. What is yours? Okay, awesome. Cool. So if you are a coach, a consultant, a service provider, if you know that you have real value to provide to the world, but you feel like your income is capped, or you just don't know how to charge for the value that you bring to someone's life, that's what we're going to talk about today. So we put this slide deck together just for you. I want to just give a little background on me and how I got here. This business started long before it became a business, and I'm actually here in Vegas. I've been here for going on 19 years now. I found my way into the Las Vegas nightlife scene early on. When I first moved out here, I was just taken away by the bright lights and the people and the clubs, and that's really what enticed me to move out here. And after spending several years in that industry, by the age of 30, I kind of hit a wall. And I had bought a nice house out here in Southern Highlands, if you guys are familiar with the Las Vegas Valley layout. I was raising my son, and I felt, wow, like this should feel like happiness. This should feel like success, right? I moved out here with $1,000 in a U-Haul, and to buy a home and have this career, I was like, what is missing? And well, when I looked in the mirror, I knew exactly what it was. I really had a huge health wake-up call, And at that time, my son was 8, and I knew how much he looked up to me. And I said, if I'm going to lead by example and show him the way, I need to make the way to show him. It's now or never. Like, I'm going to get a hold of this. And that's really what led me to hiring my first high-ticket coach. This guy was a health and fitness coach, okay? Now, here's the thing. I didn't just buy training. I bought transformation, and this was the first time that it allowed me to see that. This guy wanted to charge me $1,500 for a 3-month online health and fitness program. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds ridiculous. Like, why would I spend $1,500 on a 3-month program when I could go hire a trainer up the street for, I don't know, say $50 an hour, right? When I got on the call with this guy, he explained to me that, Anthony, this is more than just here's a meal plan, here's a workout plan. This is, giving you the education that you need to make these lifestyle changes to actually solve this for life, right? And this is the strategy that you need to retain the muscle you have but maximize your fat. And I was like, wow, this makes sense. On top of the fact that, he was going to be checking in on me weekly, holding me accountable, making sure I stayed on track. And so I ended up working with this guy for over 2 years, and I completely transformed. And for me, that was a big eye-opener, because I was like, wow, like, that's what true transformation takes, right? It takes support, it takes strategy, it takes accountability, it takes commitment, right? And that's just in your health. What about other areas of your life? Business, finance, we can go on and on, right? So the thing is anytime you get a real result, no matter what area of your life it's in, usually people notice that, right? People ask questions, people want help. And for me personally, working in nightlife, going into a full-on like health coaching career, at the time it would have seemed crazy, but people had noticed. I shared my story and my transformation online, and people noticed, and they were like, dude, you're so inspiring. I've watched you change yourself. Like, can you help me with that? And I was like, wow, I could just show you what I did, right? Like, I didn't think I was qualified to be a coach or help somebody with their health. I mean, literally, I was fat my whole life. So it got me thinking, and I was like, wow, like, if I could just help one person do what I was able to do, that would mean the world to me. And there's no way I thought I was ever going to be able to replace my $150,000 a year that I was making working down in the Las Vegas nightlife industry. What happened was the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, as we all know, the whole world shut down, the strip shut down, right? And my whole 13-year nightlife career was just, there was so much uncertainty. We didn't know what that looked like, when things were going to open back up. And I saw an ad online, and this guy was like, hey, I show coaches how to build their business online. And I was like, if I can continue doing, what I'm passionate about and what has kind of led me through this personal development path, wow, like, let me check this out. And so I got on a call with this guy, and he told me he was going to help me grow my business. And I was like, wow, this sounds so great. It sounded too good to be true, to be honest. And I said, how do we get started? And he goes, yeah, just send me $10,000 and we'll go, right? And I was like, whoa, $10,000, dude, like, where, what? Like, I've never spent that on anything other than house, car, right? I thought it was pretty absurd, and one, and two, I didn't know where I was going to get $10,000 to send this guy. But I used my intuition, everything the guy said. I did my research, I looked it up, and I was like, you know what? It's now or never. I bet on myself. And that really kind of brought me into coaching online. I was able to learn how to run ads, scale my business, market to people that have never heard of me or seen me before. And I went on to help hundreds of people transform in their health and fitness journey online, which was just something that I could have never imagined being possible. So to bring you guys up to like how this leads into where we're at now is, after scaling my online health and coaching business, a lot of people would say, hey dude, I see what you're doing online. I see your ads. I see your testimonials. Like, how did you build this online business? So again, same as before, right? People, they saw and they would ask, and I was like, well, maybe I can help people do what I was able to do. And then I saw it and I was like, wow, right now we're living in times that we've just never lived in before. And there's possibilities that didn't exist 10 years ago. And what I mean by that is this is how coaching used to work, right? It was in person only. You had to trade hours for money. It was really a local thing. You would have to have some type of local demand. And then you just reach that burnout ceiling, right? And so what's happened now, the rules of the game have really changed. Why? Well, because online delivery, social platforms, paid ads, automation, global reach, all these things are just big game changers where, before, if you didn't live in like New York, LA, good luck, right? Whereas now, if you have a skill set, you have an expertise, you have some type of value to add to the world, you can create an offer around that and charge a premium price and actually get people the transformation that they want. And I think this is one of the biggest things that I saw early on that really made me so passionate about this is, most coaches, and I was just talking to the gentleman here outside before, one, either they're not very clear on their offer and their transformation, or they just don't understand how to charge high versus low. They think they need to charge low before charging high. They think they need a website or certifications. You don't need any of those things. The first thing that you need is one clear offer. Okay, and that's exactly what we're talking about today, right? So I want to go into a little more depth on that. And like I said, we've never lived in times like this. You can actually take your knowledge, your skill, package it into a offer that has clarity and, location and luck are not even a thing, right? So high ticket coaching is not new. And what I mean by that is consulting's been around for years, hundreds of years. So has mentorship, so has advisory, done with you guidance. Gosh, I just paid a tax guy thousands to advise me on how to set up a couple of my different corporations, right? So it exists, it's all around us. And, we're going to talk about some of the different brands and that are using the same model. So if you look at a lot of these guys that you see, and then there's a way bigger list than this, right? This is just some of the people I put together. I mean, come on, Tony Robbins. Who doesn't know who Tony Robbins is? Alex Hormozi, right? They have acquisitions.com out here. Him and his wife, Layla Hormozi, just absolutely crushing it. Grant Cardone, Dan Sullivan, Russell Brunson, Ed Milet, Gary Vee. I'm sure, you guys have heard of at least one of these people, if not all of them, right? And all of them have high ticket back end coaching programs. Even if they have low ticket front end programs, a lot of times those are just to bring people in, give them some value, liquidate their ad spend, nurture them to eventually get them into their high ticket program, right? And so a lot of people think they need to start with low ticket, but really they just need one high ticket, high value offer to where they can actually start helping people, start getting testimonials, start getting some cash flow to reinvest and grow their business. So I want to talk a little bit about high ticket and where the value is actually delivered, right? So, typically in order for somebody to have true transformation, which is what a high ticket offer is based on, they need deeper support, right? They want faster results. They need more accountability and they need real implementation. Right now with AI, information is not scarce anymore. You can look up anything and everything on Gemini or ChatGPT, whatever AI platform you want to use, right? The problem is implementation and accountability and having it done in a structured way. So the real problem, it's not skill. It's typically for most people, it's clarity, right? And most people cannot clearly explain their value. And that's a problem because confused people don't buy. And if you're trying to explain to people what you do and how you do it and they're confused, you're never going to get somebody to enroll with you. You're not going to be able to change that person's life and make the impact that you want to make, or get paid the type of money that you know you're worth, right? Here's why people pay more. They want faster results. They want certainty. They want clarity. Accountability that they can't escape. And then really reduced risk of failure. Those are things that make people invest big in themselves, and that's also what allows them to get big transformation and big results, right? Why this era is different? Well, again, it's like I was talking about a little bit ago. Coaching's been around for ages, but social media hasn't, right? Paid advertising hasn't. If you have a solid offer that brings value to someone's life, if you solve a big problem, attention is purchasable, right? And trust is buildable online. And then also data removes the guessing, and AI actually increases the speed. This is a game changer right here, because, you know, even for all businesses, right? And I'm sure all you guys here in this room see it. You know, it's never been easier before to get leads for your business. There's lots of companies, agencies, they sell leads, right? Get leads for your business. Before, you used to have to look for leads in a 10, 20 mile radius from your business. You do a lot of referrals, networking, maybe email marketing, and that's all shifted, right? So AI is not the business, AI is the multiplier. AI really helps clarify ideas. It helps you pressure test offers and really accelerate decisions. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Marketing, guys, it's no longer a mystery, right? It's simple math. When you know how to run ads correctly and profitably, you put $1 in and you get $3, $4, maybe $5 or $10 back every time. We have some students in our school, in virtual income school, that are doing 15, 20x ROAS on their ad spend with their high ticket offer. So, you know, we can now test, we can target, we can optimize, and we can do that predictably. Actually, Meta just came out with a huge update called Andromeda. I'm sure if you guys are in the space, you've heard people talking about it. And they partnered with NVIDIA, right? And now their entire marketing and targeting for their ad platform is done by AI. And so what's cool about that is it's never been easier before to put your offer in front of the person that is looking for exactly what you offer. And that right there is just such a big game changer. I get so excited talking and thinking about that, because as long as you have some type of value to give, there's people out there that want it, and with the right marketing, we can find those people. And so it makes it to where you can actually have a real sustainable business and a predictable business with predictable income. A lot of times people don't know how to run ads or how they work, so they feel like they're risky. But I can tell you guys this, ads are not risky. What's risky is guessing. And for the people who are scared to start running ads, you know, really, you're just wasting time. Right now is the time to get into this as it's evolving. And really, you can start small. You can test different messaging, and you can scale what works. And when you know how to do that the right way, you're not burning through tons of cash, and the payoff is huge. It's tenfold. Not only for the lives that you impact, but for the financial compensation that you're able to achieve for making an impact on the world, right? Sales is another big one, right? Like, okay, once you have an offer, once you know how to market your program, how are you enrolling people into your program? And I think this is another big missing piece for a lot of people. They have no framework in place to be able to actually enroll people into their offer, into their program. And with high ticket offers, it has nothing to do with persuasion and being salesy like a car salesman or like a solar salesman. Sales is leadership, right? And so when you understand how to ask better questions, how to help people make clear decisions and set higher standards for the people that you're looking to help, it makes it very, very reasonable and easy to enroll people into your offer and actually get them the transformation that they're looking for. So next thing I want to just briefly talk about is systems. Systems create freedom. And that's a CRM system, right? A lot of times people don't know what a CRM system is. It just stands for Customer Relation Management Software. And it's how we really build out follow-ups, automations, email, funnels, pipelines, right? For managing leads and ensuring that we're staying on top of any of these people that are interested in what we have. It allows us to do proper scheduling, onboarding, follow-ups. So that's another big piece that goes hand in hand with having an offer and having a value to bring to the world, right? And then content, right? Content is huge. And I'm sure, you guys can see anytime you log on to any of your socials. I think I read something the other day. There's like, I think the number was in the 60 million plus of posts that are done every minute or so. And I was just blown away by that. Like, wow, people are posting like crazy. And a lot of times what happens is people, they think that they need to become these influencers or they need to post for likes and engagement. And when you actually have a real scalable business and an offer that people want, it's not about vanity metrics. It's not about becoming an influencer. It's not about dancing on TikTok. It's not about trying to go viral. It's really about building trust and building authority and then having relevance to the market and talking to the people who need the help that you provide, right? So clarity makes content convert. Once the offer is clear, people need to trust you, right? So clarity builds trust and content makes it visible. And I'm actually going to bring up Kate here. Kate is a personal brand expert and she's a content coach. She's helped a lot of people take their self online and just build confidence and build authentic content that builds trust and really just allows them to be their authentic self. So I'll let her take over and go over this part of it. And here we go.
Does it matter which mic?
Just flip it on.
Okay, perfect. Look at this. I'm all mic'd up. I got 3 mics on me. Okay, hey everyone. Content is really the converter, is how we look at it. So like Anthony was saying, with ads and being able to optimize the ads, you can have predictable income if you know how to sell. But the content is what actually helps them cross the finish line, because content builds trust. And if you do it the right way and you're intentional about it and you include your values in the content, not just your product and what you sell, but who you are as a person, what you stand for, that is gonna help people to want to buy from you and to hire you as the mentor because they feel aligned with you. It's all about alignment and intentionality. So that's what we focus on at Virtual Income School, is helping, my slides, okay. Yeah, helping people first get clarity on the offer, because once you have that, then the content becomes easier. The messaging is more clear. And what I really like about what Anthony has done with Virtual Income School is this isn't just about selling any offer. It's not just about making money online. It's making money online, doing something that you feel really passionate about and that you want to put out into the world. And that's what I love about all of our coaches that we help, because their content is so much better because it's not just about making money. There's so much out there right now that is just clickbaity and everyone's selling, and you can be really good at marketing and sales, But if there's no substance behind it, then it only goes so far. So that's my 2 cents on that piece.
Yeah.
So content is not about virality. However, I will say this. You do want to be strategic with the content, and more so knowing your ideal client and speaking directly to them and what they're going through. That is what is most important to build the trust, more so than virality, especially with the ads.
You can hit down on this arrow. There's a few more slides there.
Yeah, people don't buy content, they buy you. They buy what you stand for, they buy your story. And sadly, a lot of people don't know how to tell their story, which this is the part that I love to help people with. Because, and going back to transformation, this is why you need a coach, because it's not even about all the skills. Like, you need that, of course. You need the systems, but you need the belief in yourself, and you need to remember why you started this thing. And that's what people buy. When you can break through that level of confidence and like consciousness, you become a magnet. And that's really what it's about when I think of people investing in the transformation. It's that you have a different energy about you because you have the right support, you remember why you started, and then you have the systems.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do the arrow. Sorry, guys. Well, the energy is strong. We're glitching out over here. Is it back?
Yeah, I think it's this thing here. It just Tech Alley.
I mean, we don't. Hold on, let me grab my water. Yeah, we could just talk. You want to just do questions with each other?
There you go. Yeah.
I need my water.
That's fine. We could do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously a big part of like what offer you're crafting is getting very specific on who you're speaking to. What advice do you have on narrowing down who your target market should be?
So to narrow down who your ideal client is, it's what is the transformation you want to provide? That's usually the question that I start with. So with the coaches that we work with, they'll come to us, okay, I have this idea. Let's say it's for fitness, okay? They want to help busy dads lose weight, right? Okay, but why? Why do you want to help busy dads? So first we tie it to the purpose, and usually, Ed Milet says you're most powerfully positioned to help the person you once were. So usually that is what happens is, oh, well, I used to be overweight. I had this this turning point moment, turned my life around so that I could be around for my kids, all these things. Okay, now we have clarity around the ideal client because it's who this guy used to be. And so we can speak to his exact pain points. We don't help them pick target market just based on the market research alone, like, oh, do you have a big enough market that you could sell to? No, it's whatever you feel is attached to the purpose and the transformation you want to provide. Because if we have that, we can get to the people.
And I'll give one little tip on that I like to use. So one way you can get deeper is like so many times we're focused on the demographics of our target market, right? Males in their 40s, right? But I think the psychographics are where we get the deep emotional connection that will get someone to spend a lot more money with us. And one way that you can figure that out is ask yourself why, right? So I did this with one of my clients, and we're like, okay, so he's a fitness coach, and his target market is women in their 40s who put themselves last and put their family and their career first, and now it's starting to affect their body. And it's like, well, why are they doing that? It's like, oh, because society is conditioning them to do that. Okay, why is society conditioning? Who's actually conditioning them? Oh, actually, it's their parents that are conditioning them, right? So it's like, if you could speak to, hey, did your mom lead to body issues that led to you putting yourself last, and now you feel like you're doing the same thing to your kids? Well, I'll help you stop that pattern. That's going to be much different than, hey, do you want to lose 15 pounds? right? So you got to peel back the layers and figure out not just like what problem you solve, what the benefits are, but like what is the actual psychological decision that is being, like what's the actual psychological thing happening that will lead to them changing versus the mask they wear telling you the fake reason why they're changing. And when you can figure that out, you can charge whatever you want. So
that was so good. I feel like I want to say like preach, you know, because like I loved that. It's true though. You have to go deeper. It can't just be like everyone else. That's why personal brand is so important, because anybody can sell coaching, anybody can sell fitness coaching, whatever coaching, but there's only one you. So it's tapping into that. I don't know how many slides you had here.
Go ahead.
You don't need to be loud. You need to be clear. Yeah, I like that. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm like, you do need to be loud. You need to be loud and bold and proud. No, you do. You need to have clarity, and you need to speak to the psychological aspect of your ideal client. This is not a skill. Yeah, look, this is my take on social media and putting yourself out there, creating content. It is one of the best things that you can do to build confidence and to be unapologetically yourself. If you can really break through that barrier of just showing up every day, being consistent, building relationships. This isn't just about like you being seen. This is about you building relationships, getting in front of the right people to change their lives. But this is a very hard thing for many people to do. Even people that are successful, the moment you put a camera on someone, all their insecurities come to the surface. So if you can stay in that uncomfortable place and move through that, you can change a lot of lives and your own by doing it. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. And I think it's just like, it's the best therapy if done correctly. A lot of people think it's toxic. I say, no, let's flip that around. If you do it the right way, it can be the most healthy exercise to step into authenticity.
Yeah, love that. Awesome, cool. Let's give a round of applause for Kate.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and just to kind of touch base on what she was saying and get this wrapped up here, guys. Well, with AI coming into play, right? It's already here. It's not. AI's coming. AI's here. There's never been a better time to actually have a personal brand, because as AI comes more and more into play, humans want human. People are buying from people, and you're seeing that across the board with celebrities and influencers. People are going away from purchasing from big brands. Are there some big brands that are still going to continue to dominate like they always have? Of course, absolutely. It's hard to take down some of these companies, right? Nike and some of these other big companies. I mean, we could name 20 of them. But we're in the age of personal brand and having some type of value to give to the world, right? And we saw what happened during the pandemic. If something like that happens again, right? Let's play devil's advocate. In a worst case scenario, the world shuts down. Ask yourself, do you have something online that allows you to still add value to the world and get paid for your value versus your time? So that's really why I'm so passionate about this, and I even wanted to come up here and speak about it. Once you have a clear offer, you now have something that pays you for your value and not just your time. And not only that, once you have a clear offer that you can deliver online, you actually now have a scalable business that you can make more money than we've ever been conditioned going the old school route. And when I say that, guys, education is king. I have a bachelor's degree from UNLV, and let me tell you guys, it looks so cute on my wall. The frame looks really cute. It's never once made me $1. And so, you know, we've just never seen nothing like this with the internet, with being able to take, you know, what you're passionate about, what gives you purpose, take your knowledge or skill, package it into an offer online, and actually find the exact people that you're looking to help and work with and get paid a premium price for it. So that's kind of bringing this all together and wrapping it up. What we've done is we built a couple resources for you guys. Okay, two different resources. One, Kate has what we call, it's a 7-day Fearless Creator course. And so if you struggle with showing up online, if you struggle with creating content or being vulnerable, or understanding your why and your purpose as to what you actually want to do and who you want to serve online, her course will help you with that. We've had hundreds of people go through it already, and we've just got nothing but great feedback. This is 100% free, guys. And then also, I've just recently created a AI high ticket offer builder. Okay, so this it's a custom GPT. You'll click this, you'll go in, and you'll answer some questions. And I would really encourage you to do it, brother, based on what we talked about. It will take the questions, the answers that you give it, and it will show you how to turn your skill set expertise into a high ticket coaching offer. Okay, so I will put that QR code up there if you guys want to grab that. And then, that's pretty much all we have for you guys. I really appreciate you guys being here and hearing us out. Like I said, this right here, I get so excited about it because, again, we've just never seen nothing like this. And just from me personally, for somebody that had never been a gym fat addict or this, jacked, shredded, buff dude, for me to literally go from a 13-year nightlife career and go into helping hundreds of people in their health and wellness online, and then now go into helping hundreds of business owners launch and grow their online offer, which adds tons of value to the world and changes lives. I wake up every day living with purpose and passion. I work a lot, not because I have to, because I want to. The mission is bigger than the money, and the more people we help, the money's just a part of that. It doesn't stop coming, right? And it's the same thing for you guys. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'll hand it back to Jaxon, and thank you guys again for being here.
Let's go. By the way, if that projector isn't working for you guys, you just want to scan straight off the computer. That might be easier. Before we wrap it up, do you guys have any questions on scaling companies, high ticket offers, anything specifically you want us to help workshop with what you're working on? Yeah, 7-figure coach right here. Charges a lot. Good chance to ask any questions you have.
I was just saying, I need both of you to come on my podcast.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your podcast?
I have two. One's called Hello Henderson, but you make a better guess on the other one called HBS, Honest Bullshit.
Oh, I
Let's
like
go.
it.
Well, what I was, what was your name again? Haas. Me and Haas were just briefly speaking outside, and what I noticed right away when we started talking is, you have skill set, you have expertise. You actually said you're a coach, right? An agile coach.
I hate that term, and that's going to be the basis of the episode.
Yeah, and that's the only reason you hate that is just because your offer is not 100% clear. Because when you told me what you do and how you did it, I had no idea. And then when I asked you pricing, you said, well, it starts here to here to here. I was a confused buyer. I would never buy from you. Not because what you have is not valuable and that I don't feel like you could help me.
You're right. You said it's not packaged yet.
Yeah, it has to be refined, packaged, put into a clear offer, and then also too, you also need a high ticket sales process in place to be able to actually sell that offer. And once you do that, you already have, because you have the podcast and network, you already have people that like you, know you, trust you. You have leads, so it's really just about taking the people that raise their hand. Asking them sophisticated questions to even see if you're aligned and you could help them, and getting them on a call to where you can actually present the value that you provide and enroll them into your program. Now you get paid what you're worth, you get paid more than we've ever been conditioned, and you truly get to start transforming people, changing lives.
Yeah, and that's so true. Like we're even going through that with our business right now, right? Like I had to sit down with my team last month. I'm like, guys, we're selling too many things. We need to pick one thing that we sell to one avatar. And it's not that we don't have leads. We put on an event a week, which, by the way, if you guys are free tonight, we're having an event from 6 to 9 down the street. All you have to do is come up to me. I'll send you some info on that. But even with us, we're running that issue where it's like someone asks me what I do. I tell them 3 different things.
Yep.
And I know better than that, right? And so I think it's like when you can narrow down to like, okay, well, what's the thing that makes money? It's this high ticket, ideally retainer package, right? Just tell people you do that. And then get clear on who are the people that will actually buy that. And then if they're not that, don't try to sell them. Because that's the other thing I've learned is not all money is good money, right? Just because someone's willing to pay you high ticket money doesn't mean that it's worth your time. And one of the big things that hurt my agency in the past is I would go to events like this and I just work with anybody that wanted to hire me, and then all of a sudden I'm doing 15 different campaigns that all are 15 different variables at play. Versus if it's like, hey, I do coaching for fitness providers that want to go from 10K to 30K through Facebook ads. If you're not that avatar, then don't work with them, right?
Yeah.
And it's so hard, right? Because like that's something I struggle with. I want to work with everyone. Like,
Yeah.
you want to give me $5,000? It's kind of hard to be like, no.
Well,
They
and
can rip your hair out.
yeah, and
It's overwhelming.
yeah, and to kind of touch on that, actually, for any coach or consultant or somebody that's trying to start their business, at first you're like, well, I just want to help everybody, right? I want to help anybody. One, I need to make money. Two, I really genuinely want to help people, right? So when we do that, if we don't have, one, a clear offer, right, which we just talked about. Two, if we don't have an enrollment process. Three, if we don't have any kind of marketing channels, well, then it's like we're chasing and we're begging for business, and that attracts a different type of customer. That's going to get you customers who are not fully committed and people that don't pay you what you're worth. But when you understand how to start attracting clients because you have a clear offer and you know your value, now Alex Hormozi actually talks about this. All you guys should know who Alex Hormozi is if you don't, right? They have acquisitions.com out here in Vegas. When you actually charge people cheap, you're doing them a disservice, because they aren't fully invested. They don't have skin in the game. So when you actually charge what it's worth and not what you think people will pay, well, then guess what? You're going to actually get to work with better quality people who are committed to actually getting the result and the transformation. It's a win-win all the way around. And so I see so many coaches that they want to start, and they have great skill set. They know how to coach. They have expertise, but they think they need to start low before they sell high. And that's just completely wrong. They just need a clear, valuable offer. They need to understand the value that they're providing, the transformation they're providing, so they can charge what it's worth. And once you get your first 3-5 clients, now you have some cash flow to be able to reinvest in your business and actually grow it without continuously reaching in your pocket, right? And that's really the way that you grow a business without going broke in debt. It's how you move from coaching as a hobby to having coaching as an actual, you're on your way to becoming Tony Robbins, right? At some point. And I mean, Tony Robbins and a lot of these guys, they talk about this stuff, and so yeah, it's really cool. It's really exciting. I get super hyped up just sharing this stuff with you guys. We didn't come to this room to try to sell anything. It's just, if we could help one person dial in, and I think, even you, the conversation that we had, if I could help you just dial in and get clear on your offer and create something valuable, and you go and change one person's life, it all makes sense. I'm glad we're here, right? So, yeah.
Any other questions before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I have a question actually. Now that when you were talking about, everybody struggles with, not really being able to focus, right, on what exactly they want to do. They look at all these opportunities out there. So, like, what would you say to somebody that when they're telling their story of transformation, right, they may not know necessarily who their avatar is until they start telling that story over and over again, and then in essence, the avatar kind of reveals themselves, and then therefore you can build a clearer offer? Or would you say you have to build like a clearer offer first?
I think
that's kind of something that I've been kind of interested in seeing.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And my experience with that is this, okay? The market will always give you the best feedback, right? And so we've had a lot of students who think they want to go one direction, and they put the offer out there, and they start, having the conversations and doing the things. And then they realize, this isn't actually who I'm attracting, or this isn't the dream ideal person I want to work with. And I'll give you an example of that. When I got into the health and fitness coaching online, I was a guy who was fat and got fit. I thought I was going to help other guys who wanted to get fit. And when I started putting it out there, I didn't really have a lot of men hitting me up. I had a lot of women hitting me up, women between the age of 30 and 50. And I was like, wow, I guess my vibe, my story, whatever it was attracting women. So when I switched my marketing and started marketing towards women, my business skyrocketed, right? And that was really just taking the market feedback, from putting myself out there. And we hear that a lot with a lot of different students. So yeah, that's a good question. I think taking imperfect action is more important than anything, and just putting something out there, and also doing it long enough to actually give yourself a chance. Because that's another thing is I see a lot of coaches is they'll create an offer, they'll have an avatar, they'll put it out there, but after posting content for a month or two, they don't get many likes or comments or engagement, and then they're like, well, maybe this isn't the offer, let me find something else. And it's just they haven't done enough volume consistently, right?
Yeah. And one other thing I'll say there, if you're like, I don't even know where to start, is start by solving your own problems, right? Sometimes your problems, you can solve it. That gives you very good clarity on your story, because you just say, hey, this is the problem I had, here's how I solved it. If you have the same problem, you want me to solve it, I can help you. But just make sure that you're telling that story to people that are, like, have money. Right? Because when I started, I was getting tens of millions of views, but the reason I was never making more than $2,000 a month is because my target market was SoundCloud rappers. And I was wondering why I couldn't charge more than $50 an hour. And then they're like, hey, maybe you should work with high-ticket B2B service providers, because they actually charge a lot and have money. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll give that a shot. And all of a sudden, now all of a sudden they got money. And my offer really wasn't any different. It was just who I was speaking to that I changed. Like, it was literally just how to make social media content. It's the same problem I'm solving, whether it's for SoundCloud rappers or whether it's for businesses. It's just, once I got clear on who was the market that actually had cash, I just tweaked the narrative a little towards those people.
There's a saying, and I don't want to butcher this, but it's like if you want to make a lot of money, find out how to solve a very big problem for rich people, right? Find out how to solve a big problem for rich people, and there's your offer, right? You had a question too, brother?
Oh, out of every industry that you worked with, was there an industry that was the hardest to sell high ticket offers?
Yeah, SoundCloud rappers.
That's a really good question. Here's the thing. It's regardless of what industry and what niche you're in, there is no magic pill. There is no switch that you flick on ads and customers start pouring in. It's really really just defining and refining. And your question's really good, because here's the thing. You can be successful in almost any industry, any niche, any offer, and now the internet allows that. Because as long as there's some type of transformation that's being provided, as long as there's some type of demand for that transformation, right? Well, then there's people out there that want it or need it, and now because of Meta, we can get directly in front of those people, especially if we're very clear and concise with our offer and our messaging and who we're speaking to and what problem we're solving, right? So there's not one industry or niche that we can't do it in. Is there some industries and niches that are in higher demand than others? Well, yeah, absolutely, right? And I think, weight loss fitness is a good one, right? Because people are always going to want help with that, Some people, they want help with maybe trauma after a divorce, but maybe that's not as needed as
Oh no, it's still that one's big.
weight loss.
Everyone's divorced.
Yeah. So there you go. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's just so many opportunities, and you'd be surprised, man. We have some people that have offers in real estate, in funding, and in finance. What I'm seeing happen on a larger scale, even with teachers. I literally just enrolled a teacher in our program the other day. Teachers are tired of the politics in the school system, but they still have the heart to want to teach and coach children, right? And so because a lot of people are moving more towards like homeschool or private schooling, now that same teacher that was, third grade elementary teacher working for the school district making $35,000 a year, she has a high-ticket one-on-one mentorship program. She targets teachers. She charges $5K for her program. She's making $15K a month, right? Still helping kids, still doing what she loves, just getting paid what she's worth. And that's a prime example of where we're going. Everybody needs a high-ticket personal brand, okay? When I say everybody, right, if you have some type of skill set or expertise to provide to the world. And that's exactly where we're going. It's happening with teachers, it's happening with financial advisors, consultants, coaches, tax guys. Everybody is breaking off. Instead of working for this huge company, they have a very lean team. They have a lot of value they can provide. They're charging high ticket. They're working from their laptop, and they're making more money than we've ever been conditioned going to get your bachelor's or master's and working for somebody. That's the shift. And that's literally, I get the chills talking about this, because that is what I'm seeing. That's what we're seeing, and a lot of people just don't see it yet. But I was telling my lady this the other day, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you understand how to add value to the world, once you understand how to market online and sell online ethically without being salesy or pushy, you can't never unsee it. And I mean, I have guys in my program that are literally doing $100,000 cash collected in one single month from being a coach and helping people. It's unheard of. So, yeah. Any other questions? You guys sure you don't have any questions? Come on, I got firewood.
For the show.
All right.
Yeah, you're saying it's a podcast.
All right.
Awesome. Well,
Cool,
thank you
guys.
so much for your time. Yeah, make sure to connect with Anthony if you haven't. Also, follow your friends in business on Instagram. You can get some more information.